And shame, guilt, and rumination are kind of the indicators that, especially, well, shame in and of itself is an emotion that's kind of like a fight or flight emotion, right? It's telling us, if you continue to do this, you're going to be kicked out of the tribe. That's the evolutionary purpose of shame, right? And so if shame in the moment feels like a lot of sensation, because it's really pushing us into that fight or flight mode. But if we can kind of learn how to hold that sensation of shame, feel our cheeks get all red, feel the flushing that happens, feel the quickened heartbeat, and we can stay conscious in that, it'll pass. And then we can start to examine, what is it that made us feel shame? Is it a conditioned response? Is it something that I should feel shame for? Like, is it rational for me to feel shame for my own sexuality, or because I tripped and fell like anybody could have? Or, you know, it's things that maybe we were shamed for in the past by somebody who also was carrying a lot of shame trauma in their body, as opposed to it being in the here and now, we're actually in danger of being kicked out of the tribe. Okay? So, but knowing how that feels when it comes up in our body is the first step. And then guilt and rumination are kind of like a rotten version of shame. Like it's had time to putrefy and kind of rot. And so now we feel guilty, or we feel like we're just like ruminating or going over and over. We're anxious about these situations over and over in our minds, because again, it's like this fear response, or this I'm not going to get a need met response, or I'm going to be, again, rooted in that I'm going to get kicked out of the tribe if I continue to do this behavior. It's rooted in that. And again, we want to know, is that rooted in the here and now, or is that from an old conditioned pattern that I inherited from my parents?
Yeah.
Okay. And again, it's a work in progress. It's not something that happens overnight. And having a support group like this, where we can come and talk about these things and like normalize them, because I know several of you that have gone through the same thing, and I know I have myself as well. So just to know that, okay, I'm not alone in this. This is a thing that happens. That in and of itself is a relief for me, anyway. The consequences of having a weak and an unstable limbic system, these are the things that can happen. Okay, so we want to build that strength in our limbic system, that ability to hold space when somebody's angry. So like if Jane's really mad at me and she's yelling at me, I can stay stable in my limbic system. I can stay present. I can stay calm and know that there's probably some truth in her anger of what I've done, but there's also probably some of her that just needs to express herself, right? And that I can stay present for that. And that connection, that compassion that I have for her anger, that ability to stay present changes both of us. It causes a co-creation. And that's nourishing for both of us. Okay, that's the connection we're all dying for, is presence and approval. Presence and approval. Okay, there's lots that show that compassion or empathy, and especially when directed towards yourself, it influences your ability to relax, your mental clarity. It improves your immune system. It strengthens your self-esteem. It promotes positive emotions. It taps you into your feeling of purpose. It helps you feel safe. It makes you, it fills up your cup so it's easier to give back. It reduces feelings of stress. It improves your physical health. Like there's all of these benefits of focusing on empathy, compassion, but specifically directed towards yourself. Okay, and some of the consequences. So if we think of love, empathy, compassion, all words that kind of mean the same thing. Connection, all of that, what that means is we're bringing something in as if it's a part of us. We're taking care of it as if it's a part of us. Like my dog, I take care of him as if he's a part of me because he pretty much is a part of me, right? I love him so much that his needs are my needs in a non-codependent way, although I'm a little codependent with my dog. In a way that that's what that connection is, like his best interests are my best interests because we're a unit, right? And same with your family, but it's not at the cost of me. It's like we're working with an animal, it's a little different. They don't have much of you, but with kids, with extended family members, you want to be in this cohesive group relationship where everyone is benefiting from being in the connection mutually. Okay, that's kind of the overall aim. And if you're over giving or you're over invested in their emotions, you're actually taking that piece that they could be needing and contributing and giving, and you're doing it for them, which is robbing them of their ability to be an adult. Okay? So that's what we mean by enabling behavior, right? So we want to be in relationships that are 50-50 in the sense of they come forward 50%, I come forward 50%, and we create something together that's mutually beneficial. If one of us is overextending, now we're in a codependent.